Chapter 20. The Panic. When I am afraid, I put my trust in you. Psalm 56, verse 3. Micah held Ruthie tightly. One arm curved across her back, the other braced firm but gentle at her elbow, anchoring her to this moment, this place, this reality. Not restraining, just reminding her she wasn't alone. Her breath came in sharp, fractured bursts, like glass shattering against ribs. Her eyes didn't blink, didn't move. They were locked on the door Dylan had just slipped through, as if it might swing open again. James had followed him out the door. His jaw was clenched, fists curled, not out of rage but as if trying to hold back every memory threatening to erupt. He didn't shout, didn't lunge, but his presence spoke volumes. He positioned himself near the entrance, shoulders squared, silently daring Dylan to try stepping back inside. He watched as Dylan's car skidded away and disappeared down the road. Only then did he turn back. Naomi moved quietly, like a woman who had lived through her own apocalypse and survived it one breath at a time. She moved with purpose and flipped the sign on the front door, closed, with hands that trembled and fetched a worn blanket. She didn't speak. She just placed the blanket over Ruthie, quiet and careful. Then she stepped back. Micah adjusted his hold as Ruthie's lips parted.
I need air.
She rasped. The words were thin, brittle. He waited for her to move. Then followed, silent, steady, just a few paces behind, as she stepped into the blaze of the midday sun. The light hit her like a slap. It was too much, too loud, the sky too wide, the breeze too sharp. Everything felt enormous. She stumbled past James and the bookshop window, boots scraping the gravel, down the narrow alley behind it, her hand dragging along the warm brick wall, needing something solid, something unmoving. Micah followed. James didn't. Not yet. He was still standing guard at the door, shoulders set, eyes fixed on the road, prepared for the possibility that Dylan might change his mind and try to come back. He wasn't leaving his post until he was sure Ruthie was safe. She dropped between two garbage bins, crouched low to the ground. Her whole body trembled as if the fear was vibrating through her bones. She cradled her head in her hands, fingers digging into her scalp, trying to press back the rising terror, trying to make herself small enough to disappear.
He found me.
She whispered.
I'm not safe anymore. I'm not safe anywhere.
The words looped, stuck in her mind, and replayed. A scratched record of terror spinning inside her chest. She curled tighter, like she could disappear into concrete and sky. Micah didn't touch her. He crouched a few feet away, forearms resting on his knees. Present, but unintrusive, like a shadow made of compassion. Ruthie lifted her head slowly. Her cheeks streaked with tears and her voice was thin and hollow.
I felt safe,
she said, voice trembling.
He only let me feel safe for 5 minutes, before taking it all away again.
Micah gave the smallest nod.
I'm sorry, mate. That really sucks,
he said, offering comfort in the only way he knew how. And in that moment, James appeared at the end of the alley, his shadow long in the harsh light. He didn't rush, but slowly made his way down the alley.
We need to get her home and away from here in case he comes back,
he said with authority. Micah stood and dusted his jeans with the flat of his palms, then looked down to Ruthie, his voice gentler than before.
You right to walk?
Ruthie swallowed, her throat tight. Every part of her ached with the weight of memory, but she nodded. Her legs trembled, but she moved towards James, who had opened the passenger door of the ute. The drive home unfolded in near total silence. No music, no small talk, just the weight of what had happened hanging over them. As soon as they pulled up to the farm, Ruthie stepped out without a word, and James followed in silence. She made her way to the cottage with a kind of haunted resolve. At the threshold, Ruthie paused. Her fingers brushed the weathered timber frame, grazing the familiar grain like it might steady her. The cottage looked the same, but it didn't feel the same. It felt altered, like stepping into a memory warped by time or grief. She hovered there a moment longer before crossing the threshold. Bear padded in behind her, slow and deliberate, as if scanning for shadows only he could see. His flank brushed her leg, a quiet offering of presence. James stayed at the door, watching her. He noticed then the blanket that had been wrapped around her shoulders had slipped off, trailed behind like something forgotten. He bent down and lifted it carefully, and shook away the dust before stepping inside and draping it around her once more, gently. His knuckles grazed the hollow of her collarbone, and something in him cracked at how cold her skin felt. Ruthie didn't flinch, but she didn't meet his eyes either. She just moved to the corner of the room and slid down the wall, back pressed to the cool plaster. Her knees drew up, arms wrapped around them. Her breath came in shallow bursts, but it came. James crouched beside her, not touching, not intruding, just trying to anchor himself in the hush that had settled around them, offering his presence.
He doesn't get to write the ending, Ruthie.
He said, voice low, steady, but burning at the edges.
He doesn't get to decide what happens next.
She closed her eyes. A tremble passed through her, not of fear, but of release.
I'm here,
He added softly.
and if he ever comes near you again, he'll have to go through me first.
She said nothing. Instead, she leaned into James, into the place where safety had taken root. His shoulder, solid and still, felt like home after a long winter. She folded herself into that quiet strength, into warmth steadier than fire, deeper than breath. Wrapped in wool and silence, she let herself stay. And he didn't move. He stayed with her, unmoving, unwavering, until the trembling softened and the night finally let go. James didn't speak right away. He simply adjusted the wool blanket around her shoulders, careful and slow, like tucking in something fragile but worth protecting. The kind of protection that didn't demand anything in return. But his eyes never left her. After a while, he broke the silence.
Ruthie,
He said gently,
I know you have a lot to process, but I would really like it if you would come to stay up at the main house tonight.
He waited, then tried again, quieter this time.
I don't want you down here by yourself, not after what happened.
Still, she didn't speak. Her fingers toyed with a loose thread on the edge of the blanket, eyes distant.
I know you're used to handling things on your own.
He added, voice steady but laced with a softness that tugged at something deep in her.
I know you've had to be strong in ways most people wouldn't understand, but you don't have to do that here. Not tonight. Not alone.
Her breath caught, a small sound in the dark.
I've fixed up the guest room.
He continued.
It's warm, safe, just down the hall from mine. I'll even leave the door open if that helps.
His tone held no trace of pity, just care, a kind of reverence for her pain, not a rescue from it. Ruthie turned her head slightly, eyes meeting his at last. They were rimmed red, but clear, awake.
I'm not weak.
She said, the words almost a whisper. James nodded.
I know.
Silence fell again. Then finally she exhaled, long, hollowed out, real.
Okay, I will come stay at the main house.
She murmured, nodding her head with a hint of surrender. Not to him, but to the idea that she didn't have to hold her world together alone tonight.
Thank you for listening to this chapter of Healing on the Land. If this story has touched your heart, I'd love for you to come join me for the next chapter. You can find it here on this channel. If you'd like to support more Christian storytelling, you can purchase the full book or make a donation using the link in the description. Your support, no matter the size, helps us to continue writing stories of faith, healing, and hope. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe to this channel. May God bless you, and I hope you have a lovely rest of your day.